Yes, so in November 1933, I bade goodbye to my parents in the New York City as they sailed for the Barbados. I had been in this country for 12 years with no desire to see Barbados. I was not successful, and I was ashamed to go home to successful members of my family. After 12 years in America, I was a failure in my own eyes. I was in a theater and made money 1 year and spent it next month. I was not what I would call by their standards nor by mine successful person. Mind you, when I said goodbye to my parents in November, I had no desire to go to Barbados. Barbados. The ship pulled out, and as I came up the street, something possessed me with a desire to go to Barbados. It was the year 1933. I was unemployed and had no place to go except little room on the 75th Street. I went to stay to my old friend Abdullah and said to him, the strangest feeling is possessing me. For the first time in 12 years, I want to go to Barbados. If you want to go, Neville, you have gone. He replied. That was very strange language to me. I am in New York City on the 2nd Street, and he tells me that I have gone to Barbados. I said to him, "What do you mean? I have gone to Abdullah?" He said, "Do you really want to go?" I said, "Yes." He then said to me, "As you walk through the door, now you are walking on the 72nd Street. You are walking on a palm line street, a coconut line street. This is Barbados. Do not ask me how you are going to go. You are in Barbados. You do not say how when you are there. You are there. Now you walk as though you were there." I went out of his place in the days. I am the Barbados. I have no money. I have no job. I am not even well clothed, and yet I am in Barbados. He was not the kind of person with whom you would argue, not Abdullah. 2 weeks later, I was no nearer my goal than on the day I first told him I wanted to go to Barbados. I said to him, I trust you implicitly, but here is one time I cannot see how it is going to work. I have not one penny towards my journey." I began to explain. You know what he did? He was black as the ace of the spades. My old friend Abdullah, with his head as I sat in the living room, he rose from his chair and went towards his study and slammed the door, which was not an invitation to follow him. As he went through the door, he said to me, "I have said all that to I have to say." On the 3rd December, I stood before the Abdullah and told him again. I was no nearer to my trip. He repeated his statement, "You are in Barbados." The very last ship sailing for the Barbados that would take me there for the reason I wanted to go, which was to be there for the Christmas sale at the noon on December 6th and the old Nerissa. The morning of the 4th December, having no job, having no place to go, I slept late. When I got up, there was an airmail letter from the Barbados under my door. As I opened the letter, a little piece of the paper flickered to the floor. I picked it up, and it was a draft of $50. The letter was from my brother Victor and read, "I am not asking you to come, Neville. This is a command. We have never had a Christmas when all the members of family were present at the same time. This Christmas it could be done if you would come." My oldest brother Cecil left home before the youngest was born, and then we started to move away from the home at the different times. So never in the history of our family we were ever all together. The letter continued, "You are not working. I know there is no reason why you cannot come, so you must be here before Christmas. The enclosed $50 to buy a few shirts or a pair of the shoes you may need for the trip. You will not need tips. Use the bar if you are drinking. I will meet the ship and pay all your tips and your incurred expenses. I have cabled the furnaces Whitney and Corporation in New York City and told them to issue you a ticket when you appear at their office. The $50 is simply to buy some little essentials. You may sign as you want aboard the ship. I will meet it at the take care of the obligation." I went down the furnaces and Whitney Corporations with my letter and let them read it, and they said, "We received the cable, Mr. Godrej, but unfortunately we have not any space left on the December 6th sailing. The only available is a third class between the New York and the St. Thomas. When we got to the street Thomas, we have a few passengers who are getting off. You may then ride the first class from the St. Thomas to Barbados, but between New York to St. Thomas you must go to the third class. Although you may have the privileges of the first class dining and walk the decks of the first class, I said I will take it. I want I went back to my friend Abdullah on the afternoon of the 4th December and said it worked like a dream. I told him what I had done, thinking he would be happy. Do you have what he said to me? He said, what who told you that you are going third class? Did I see you Barbados? The man, you are going third class. You are in Barbados and you went there by first class. I did not have one moment to see him again before I sailed on the noon of the December 6th. When I reached the dock with my passport and my papers to get abroad, the ship that agent said to me, "We have a good news for you, Mr. Godrej. There have been a cancellation and you are going in a first class." Abdullah taught me the importance of remaining faithful to an idea and not compromising. I wavered, but he remained faithful to the assumption that I was in Barbados and I traveled the first class. Now back to the significance of our Bible stories, that the well is deep and you have no bucket. You have no rope. It's the 4 month to the harvest, and Jesus say, "I have meat to eat. You know not of. I am the bread of the heaven." Feast on the idea, become identified with the idea as though you were already that embodiment state. Walk in the assumption that you are what you want to be. If you feast on that and remain faithful to the mental diet, you will crystallize. 3 heavenly months in the Barbados, I drank and smoked and did everything I had done in the years. I have not done in years. I remember what Abdullah had said to me: "After you have proven this law, you will become normal naval. You will come out of the graveyard and you will come out of the dead past where you think you are being holy. For all you are really doing, you know, you are being so good, Neville. You are good for nothing." I came back walking this earth a completely transformed person. From that day, which was in the February 1934, began to live more and more. I cannot honestly tell you I have always succeeded. My many mistakes in this world, my many failures would convict me if I told you that I have so completely mastered the movements of my attention that I can at all times remain faithful to the idea I want to embody. But I can say with the ancient teacher, although I seem to have failed in the past, I move on the stride day after day to become that which I want to embody in this world. Suspend judgment, refuse to accept that what reason and the senses now dictate, and if you remain but I cannot say the ancient teacher, though I seem to have failed in the past. I move on and strive day after day to become that which I want to embody in this world. Suspend judgment, refuse to accept what reason and the senses now dictate, and if you remain faithful to the new diet, you will become the embodiment of the ideal to which you remain faithful. If there is one place in the world that is unlike my little island of Barbados, it is a New York City. In Barbados, the tallest building is the 3 stories, and the streets are lined with the palm trees and the coconut trees and all sorts of tropical things. In the New York City, you must go to the park to find the tree. Yet, I had to walk the streets of the New York as though I walked the streets of the Barbados. To one imagination, all things are possible. I walked the feelings that I was actually walking the streets of the Barbados, and in the assumption I could almost smell the odor of the coconut and lime lanes, I began to create within my mind eye the atmosphere I would physically encounter where I am in Barbados. As I remained faithful to the assumption, somebody cancelled passage and I received it. My brother in Barbados, who never thought of my coming home, has commanding urge to write to me in a strange letter. He had never dictated to me, but this time he dictated and thought that he originated the idea of my visit. I went home and had the 3 heavenly months and returned first class and brought back quite a sum of the cash in my pocket, a gift. My trip, had I paid for it, would have cost around $3,000, yet I did it without the nickel in my pocket. I have ways, not of my ways of the past, finding out the dimensionally greater self, took my assumption as the command and influenced the behavior of my brother to write that letter, influenced the behavior of someone to cancel that first class passage, and did all things necessary that would trend towards the production of the idea with which I was identified. I was identified with the feeling of being there. I slept as though I were there, and the entire behavior of the man was molded in the harmony with my assumption. I did not need to go down the Furnaces Whitney Corporation and beg them for the passage, asking them to cancel someone who was booked in the first class. I did not need to write my brother and beg him to send me some money to buy my passage. He thought he originated the actually to this day he believes that he initiated the desire to bring me home. My old friend Abdullah simply said to me, "You are in Barbados, Mabel, and you want to be there. Whatever you want to be, there you are. Live as though you are, and that you shall be." These are the two outlooks on the world possessed by every man. I do not care who you are. Every child born of a woman, regardless of the race, nation, and the creed, possesses two distinct outlooks of the world. You are either the natural man who receives not the things of the Spirit of the God, because to you, in the natural focus, you are foolishness unto you, or you are the spiritual man who perceives the things outside the limitation of your senses, because all the things are now realities in the dimensionally larger world. There is no need to wait 4 months to harvest. You are either a woman of the Samaritan or the Jesus of the well on the well. You are the man waiting on the 5 porches of the disturbance and someone to push him in, or you are the one who can command yourself to rise and walk in spite of the others who wait. Are you the man behind the tombstone in the cemetery, waiting for the begging not to be clean, because you do not want to be cleansed of your prejudice? Prejudices. One of the most difficult things of the man to give up in his superstitions is prejudice. He holds on to these as though they were treasures of the treasures. When he do become cleansed and you are free, then the your own mind is automatically healed. It becomes the prepared ground where the seeds of your desire can take root and grow into the manifestation. The child you now bear is your heart and your present objective. Your present longing is a child that is as though it were sick. If you assume you are now what you would like to be, the child for a moment becomes a dead, because there is no disturbance anymore. You cannot be disturbed when you feel you are what you want to be, because if you feel you are what you wanted to be, you are satisfied in that assumption. To others who judge superficially, you seem no longer to desire. So to them, the desire of themselves is dead. They think you have lost your ambition because you have no longer discussed your secret ambition. You have completely adjusted yourself to the idea. You have assumed that you are what you want to be. You know she is not that, she but slept. I go to awaken him. I walk into assumption that I am, and as I walk I quite awaken her. Then when she awakens, I will do the normal natural things. I will give her to eat. I will not brag about it and tell others. I simply go and tell no man. I feed this state I know, like with my attention. I keep it alive within my world by becoming attentive to it. Things that are that I am not attentive to fate and wither within my world, regardless of what they are. They are not just born and then remain unfed. I gave them birth by the reason of the fact that I became conscious of being them. When I embody them within my world, that is not the end. That is the beginning. Now I am the mother who must keep alive this state by being attentive to it. This day that I am not attentive, I have withdrawn my milk from it and it fades from my world as I became attentive to something else in my world. You can either be attentive to the limitation and feed these and make them mountains, or you can be attentive to your desires, but to become attentive you must assume you are already and that which you wanted to be. Although today we speak of the third dimension and fourth dimension focus, do not think of for one moment these ancient teachers were not fully conscious of what two distinct centers of thought within the mind of a man. The personified these two and they tried to show man that the only things which robs him of the man he could be is a habit. Although it is not a law, every psychologist will tell you that habit is most inhibiting force of the world. I completely restricts it completely restricts man and binds him and makes him totally blind to what otherwise he should be. Begin now to mentally see and feel yourself as that which you want to be and feast upon that sensation. Morning, noon, night, I have scored the Bible for a time interval that is no longer than 3 days, and I have not found it. Jesus answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in the 3 days I will raise it up. Prepare your victuals, for within the 3 days you shall pass over this Jordan to go into the possesses the land which the Lord your God gave you to possess it. If I could completely saturate my mind with one sensation and walk as though it were already fact, I am promised, and I cannot find any denial of it in this great book. And I do not need more than a 3 day diet if I remain faithful to it. But I must be honest about it. If I change my diet in the course of the day, I extend the time of interval. You ask me, but how do I know about the interval? You yourself determine the interval. We have today in our modern world, little word which confuses most of us. I know it is confused me until I dug deeper. This often the word is action. Action is supposed to be the one of the most fundamental thing in the world. It is not an atom. It is the most fundamental. It is not a part of of an atom like an electron. It is more fundamental than that. They call it the four dimensional unit. The word fundamental thing in the world is action. You ask what is action. Our physicists tell us that it is energy multiplied by time. We become more confused and say energy multiplied by time, what does that mean? They answer, there is no response to a stimulus, no matter how intense the stimulus, unless it endures for a certain length of time. There must be a minimum endurance to the stimulus, or there is no response. On the other hand, there is no response to the time unless there is a minimum degree of intensity. Today the most fundamental thing in the world is called action, or simply energy multiplied by time. Bible gives it as a 3 days. The duration is 3 days for the response in the world. If I would now assume I am what I want to be, and if I am faithful to it and walk as though I were, very longest stretch given for the realization is 3. If there is something tonight that you really want in this world, then experience an imagination what you would experience in the flesh were you to realize your goal, and deafen your ears and blind your eyes to all that denies the reality of your assumption. If you do this, you would be able to tell me before I leave the city of Los Angeles that you have realized what was only a wish when you came here. It will be my joy to rejoice with you in the knowledge that the child which was seemingly dead is now alive. This damsel really was not dead, she was only asleep. You fed her in the silence because you have meat no one else knows of. You gave her food and she became resurrected, living reality within your world. Then you can share your joy with me, and I can rejoice in your joy. The purpose of these lessons is to remind you and of the law of your own being, the law of your consciousness. You are that law. You were only unconscious of its operation. You fed and kept alive the things you did not wish to express within this world. Take my challenge and put this philosophy to test. If it does not work, you should not use it as a comforter. If it is not true, you must completely discard it. If I know it's true, you will not know it until you try either to prove it or disapprove it. Too many of us have joined isms and we are afraid to put them to the test because we feel we might fail. And then where are we? Not really wanting to know the truth concerning it. We hesitate to be bold enough to put it to the test. You say, I know it would work in some other way. I do not want to really test it. While I have not yet disproved it, I can still be comforted by it. Now, do not fool yourself. Do not think for 1 second be that you are wise. Prove or disapprove this law. I know that if you attempt to disapprove it, you will prove it, and I will be the richer for you proving it. Not in dollars, not in things, but because you become the living fruits of what I believe. I am teaching in this world. It is far better to have you successful, satisfied person after 5 days of instructions than to have you go to dissatisfied. I hope you will be bold enough to challenge this instruction and either prove or disapprove it. Now, before we go into the silence period, I shall briefly explain the technique again. We have now before we go into the silence period, I shall briefly explain the technique once again. We have two techniques in applying this law. Everyone here must now know exactly what he wants. You must know that if you do not get it tonight, you will still be desirous tomorrow concerning this object. When you know exactly what you want, construct it in your mind's eye, single simple event which implies fulfillment of your desire, an event where and self predominance. Instead of sitting back and looking at yourself as though you were on the screen, you are be the actor in the drama. Restrict the event to a one single action. If you are going to shake the hand because that implies the fulfillment of your desire, then do that, and that only. Do not shake the hands and then wander off in your imagination to the dinner party or to some other place.